This video will be reviewing what has happened to our financial situation over the past 4 years while 3 current candidates, Isbrand, Ellis, and Armstrong, were in charge. For simplicity, we'll be referring to that 4-year period as the IEA board.
You've heard the claims. Our HOA is in great financial shape. But let's take a closer look. First, let's be clear. No one is saying our HOA is about to go bankrupt. But owners deserve the truth. Significant parts of our financial situation have not been shared, and the picture is not as rosy as supporters of the IEA board would like you to believe. Supporters of the IEA board boast that our HOA has saved $1 million reserve fund. Sounds impressive, right? But here are the facts. When the IEA board took over 4 years ago, there was already over $800,000 in cash. The difference today is about $200,000, and over 40% of that came from interest on money saved by previous boards. So what did the IEA board actually do to grow reserves? 2 things. First, they slashed maintenance by 66%. What is the implication of this reduction? Heavy reliance on volunteers for routine maintenance and a reduction in services. Full-time caretaker fired, trash and snow plowing eliminated, quality of roadside mowing deteriorated, hand-painted signs appeared. Fewer than 20% of owners live on the mountain full-time. Volunteers cannot sustain a maintenance plan forever. People age. Not everyone can do physical labor. Some don't want to spend their leisure time cutting trees. And there's already been 1 serious injury with this volunteer strategy. Consider this, the $300,000 our association spent on legal fees during the past 3 years could have paid for the eliminated services for almost 10 years. Second, they slashed the capital budget by nearly 90%. That budget is supposed to maintain and improve our assets, the docks, the community center, the front entrance. Instead, projects were ignored or delayed. Consider the laundry list of projects inherited by the current VP, Matt Garrity, when he took office in November 2024. The front entrance sign was identified as a problem in 2022. Nothing done. This project was handed to the new VP, Matt Garrity. The Dock 2 cameras were first mentioned in 2022. Never done. Matt and ARC liaison candidate Ken Konecki installed the cameras in 2025. Dock 2 encapsulation. In late 2021, TVA announced their ruling requiring that all foam floats be encapsulated. This project was never budgeted by the IEA board. It was the new VP, Matt Garrity, who added the project to the capital budget. Community center safety. The new VP, along with volunteers, discovered that the fire and safety equipment in the community center was out of compliance. Why wasn't this a priority with the IEA board? Our community assets, the things that add value to our community, have not been properly maintained for the past 4 years. For years, our $330 annual dues were enough to cover both maintenance and the capital budget. Why did that change? Where has our money been going, if not to maintain what we own? The answer is clear. Instead of caring for our assets, the IEA board chose to sue their neighbors, refused legal records requests, and used our money to engage in an ongoing campaign to eliminate short-term rentals. To fund their legal crusade against short-term rentals, the IEA board had to cut costs somewhere, and our community assets paid the price. Supporters of the IEA board claim that the prior board created a 10-year capital budget that reduced our reserves from the then current $1.1 million to about $200,000. That's a misunderstanding of how budgeting works. A 10-year capital plan doesn't drain reserves. It shows the true cost of maintaining our assets and gives us time to plan ahead. The previous board took an honest look at the cost to maintain our assets, and the new VP is doing the same. Yes, reserves will take a hit when we tackle the Dock 2 encapsulation project, but that's exactly what the reserve fund is for. Reinvesting in our community, because what good is money in the bank if we neglect to maintain the very assets that define our community? After 4 years of neglect by the IEA board, our community now faces the challenge of addressing deferred maintenance on our assets. The long-term impact of that reality on our cash reserves will depend entirely on the leadership, skills, and ingenuity of the next board. The question is, who can best guide us through the challenge? 3 rerun board members who ignored DOC 2 and spent hundreds of thousands on lawsuits, or Glenn Gustafson, a CPA and experienced financial executive with the skills and creativity to protect our future? The choice is clear. For integrity, for accountability, for fiscal responsibility, vote for Glenn, Billy, and Ken.
It's time for a change. Stay informed about what's happening in your community and be a part of the solution. Please follow our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, or visit our website at lmsoa.com to keep up to date on important information regarding our community's future. Together, we can build a better community for all.